What is one thing we should never, ever, and I mean ever do in the downswing with driver or with an iron? To an extreme degree. That is open that face in the downswing. Now, there are two things that help us control that club face. That's one is grip, okay? And two is what our hands and wrists are doing to prepare this club in the downswing. So many club golfers I see get this wrong. This means putting more effort in and getting less out the golf ball. You want to achieve the opposite to that, right? Let's get into today's video. I'm Alex Elliott, I'm PJ Golf Professional. Welcome to my daily tips. Let's start off by just briefly showing you what we don't want to see in this downswing. And the big key thing here is in terms of what our hands are doing, and the big mistake is what it does to our club face. So starting off with what's happening in this downswing here, if we come to the down the line perspective, as we're pulling down this handle, many of us are getting that feeling of, right, let's get that club coming from the inside, let's get that club coming from the inside. But as soon as we start to do this, look how my wrist becomes cupped. Now, the more my wrist gets cupped, the more my club face gets open, the more it points to the sky. The more my lead wrist gets flatter to bowed, the stronger and more closed my club face becomes. Now, obviously, there's a balance between them both, but I don't tend to see too much of this. What I tend to see a lot of is this, that big glancing hit across the golf ball in this direction, which makes a lot weaker strikes. Weaker strikes just aren't enjoyable. Now let's just cover grip for 30 seconds now, because I said that was equally as important as what you're doing. So we see a load of different grips really, and there's no real right or wrong reason. There's just some checkpoints that if you came to a lesson for me, I would give you. We see John Ram, a lot weaker grip, but more bowed to strengthen his club face. We see some people with a lot of a stronger grip. People like Ricky Fowler in the past have had quite a strong grip. So it's really important that you find one for you, but I kind of find most commonly these rules work for 99% of golfers. So grip it on the graphite, tilt it slightly away, place it in the fingers. So we're placing that club right in those fingers, and then we're making that meaty part sit on top. As we're placing that club down to the ground, 2.5 knuckles on your glove hand, into the fingers on your right hand if you're a right-handed player. Both creases put into your right shoulder for a right-handed player. Both creases put into your left shoulder for a left-handed player. Simple checkpoints that I know will give you a lot more confidence when gripping this golf club. So let's now move into enough of what is sort of we don't want to hear, because we don't want to hear that. But I guess we've got to be aware of, if you are that person, have a look at yourself, and if you're pulling down on that handle and opening that face, we know that's sort of not going to work. Okay, so this might sound a little bit backwards, what I'm about to say. I know this video is all about our hands, but we're going to think about this as an order now. I want you to think about your hands last in this downswing. What I want you to think about first is the body, the arms, and then the hands. Okay, so we're thinking about this in reverse, whereas most golfers start with these, okay? So putting less emphasis on this, but we're going to get it right. So let's move a little bit closer to where this golf ball is. And what I really want you to do is either grab an alignment stick, if you've got an alignment stick, or you could do this simply by grabbing your golf club. I mean, I prefer either. I'm going to show you a bit of a progression. So if we could start off with an alignment stick, that would be fantastic. Grabbing it in the middle, placing your trail hand behind your back, so my right hand for a right-handed golfer. I want you to move this golf club to the top of the backswing, okay? I now want you to feel as though you start to rotate, and you're going to see a face-on perspective of this as well at the same time. We're going to feel as though we rotate, and we keep our lead wrist flat. We work that lead wrist so we feel like it works over the golf ball, round the target, okay? Not pulling down on this handle, because this alignment stick would actually collide into me and that face would open. Now the reason why I like this feeling is because if I was to throw this alignment stick into the ground in front of me, I'd have to move it like this. Okay, let me show you that again. If I was to throw that into the ground in front of me, I would have to move it like this. If I was to pull down on that handle, I'll actually throw it sort of through my legs and maybe collide into me. Okay, so that is the first stage to this, and I like that stage because it feels a little bit more free-flowing. This is the stage which gives you the whole picture. What am I trying to control? Well, club face. And what am I trying to control as well? My body, okay? Because that makes these have to do less. The body works better, the hands have to work less. The less the body works, the more the hands have to work, okay? So again, if we follow the same process, work it to the top, pull down that handle, no body, look how my face opens, it makes more of a glancing move to have to get into that golf ball. What we want to feel is more of this. So my objective for you here is lower moves, upper moves, hands fall into position, and as your hands are on your right thigh, can your lead wrist be nice and flat, and look at the difference in this position. Butt end of the club is pointing to target, club face is nice and square, rotate through. Not the opposite sequence to that, pulling down, making some room to chop across, we're up, lower, upper, club falls into position, club face square, lead wrist nice and flat, rotate in and through. So I can guarantee if you follow that process for me, you even do this right now, you're watching this at home, right? Do this at home. Try that process. You don't need much space when you're grabbing your golf club in here. I can really guarantee it's going to give you a much better sensation and getting what we want to do with these hands in this downswing, not cupping, creating space by cutting across. What we're going to do is get this body working and get these wrists and hands working as we want. So my checkpoint and my marker for you is this. This position here at last parallel, hands on the right thigh, lead wrist nice and flat. What does that look like gripping it? Nice and normally, just simply like this. And then we can rotate through. So we're getting that club face to be squarer for longer in the golf swing, not trying to save the club face at the minute. I can guarantee you, you are saving the club face last minute right now. We have to get out of that. Now, before we hit this shot away, if you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to hit that big red subscribe button and that thumbs up button too. It really helps me, it helps this channel grow. And if you want to see more daily tips, let me know what's going to help you be the best golfer you can be. I think this is a great one today. We soon get that concept of what we don't want to do with the hands, but then we've got two simple drills of what we do want to do with the hands, right? The last one probably can be done a bit more frequently because you can do it inside. The first one, if you've got a bit of free space, get a bit free flowing. Remember, hands work last, body starts the downswing. So if I'm on the golf course right now and I was on the first tee, and there's a bit of pressure, right? There's nothing more than having a few of your playing partners who are good golfers all around you and you're thinking, all right, I've got to get this one away. Right, okay, well, have a bit of a sequence. Okay, let it fall in. Right, okay, do the same thing. Let it fall, swing through. Now all I have to do is step over that golf ball, in, and we can rip it down the fairway. We can take that confidence to rip it. Fairway binder. Thank you so much for watching today's video. I really do hope you enjoyed it. I look forward to seeing you tomorrow for some more daily tips.